And no, this isn't sponsored. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Toast Hammer, here with a hot painting tip. I finally got my hands on the Rogue Hobbies Pro Painter Series by Pro Acryl Monument Hobbies Pro Artist Signature Set thing. You can tell it's not sponsored because I don't know what the name of the product is. But this is perhaps, if you're a new painter, the single best set of paints that you can buy. Let me explain. So I've talked before about how color mixing is actually a very fundamental and important aspect to this hobby in a video that literally nobody watched. But this set is out, so I get to talk about it again. Fundamentally speaking, this paint set has the capability to reproduce any other paint that you can buy with your money by just mixing these 6 colors plus potentially black and white. The color wheel that you learned about in elementary school, middle school is a lie. You may know the primary colors of red, blue, and yellow. These are falsehoods laid at our feet by the tyrants of misinformation. Actually, it's just because it's easier for kids to remember those names instead of the names cyan, magenta, and yellow, which are the true primary colors and are all represented in this paint set, along with the secondary colors of sort of an orange-red, we got a blue, and also a green, which you might recognize are the primary colors of, hey, this computer screen you're watching right here, RGB. That's what the additive primary colors are, but painting is a subtractive methodology and thus uses a different set of primary colors. But what that means is this paint set can make an entire full color wheel by itself, which means it has access to every hue in the color wheel, aka every hue that we are able to perceive. And then by mixing all of those colors plus white or black, you can create functionally every color that you are able to paint. Now, I think color mixing gets a little bit of a bad rap for being apparently too complex. There's a lot of sort of, I think, fear is the wrong word, but perhaps intimidation when it comes to the subject of attempting to mix your own colors, but it really isn't that hard, and paints like Pro Acryl make the process even easier by presenting their paints in dropper bottles, which makes it very easy to come up with precise formulas for the colors you want and write them down. 3 drops of blue, 1 drop of cyan, a couple of drops of white, and there you go. Writing down your formulas when you're painting miniatures is extremely important if you find a color that you like, because otherwise very difficult to actually reproduce those colors. So keep a notebook at hand while you're experimenting. But just as a quick demonstration for what I'm actually talking about, I'm going to use both just the primary colors and the primary plus secondary colors to make 2 color wheels, so you can see exactly how these paints mix together and how their hue can change by adding proportions of other paints. And you might be thinking to yourself, hey Toasty, I don't want to waste paint trying to come up with new formulas. Well, the thing about Pro Acryl is they're actually larger bottles than your normal paint set. These guys come in 22 milliliter bottles, which is about an extra 5 or so milliliters compared to the normal miniature paints that you'll buy, meaning that you have a little bit of extra paint to spare. And trust me, paints last kinda forever. In all of the YouTubers you see with all of their walls of paint lined up behind them, none of them are empty. And that's for a reason. Many paints last a very, very long time. I've been using this bottle of Stonewall Gray that I got from the Vallejo starter set for my entire AdMech army and many other miniatures in between, and I'm still only about halfway through it. That's how long paints last if you're properly thinning them. It truly is an incredibly long amount of time, so I would not worry even a little bit about wasting some paint to try and experiment with color mixing to find the formulas that you do like. Now, color mixing isn't for everyone, and when you do find colors that you do want your army to be, well, then it just makes more sense to buy a color. If you know all of your Space Marine armor is going to be like this specific shade of orange or something, then yeah, you should just buy that orange. It would kind of suck to have to mix that up every time, but you can also pre-mix it. Multiply your formula by 10 or 20 and add those to a separate bottle, and hey, you got a mix of your very own paint, baby. But this is especially useful if, one, you don't know what color you want to paint your miniatures, or two, you just want to paint one, two, maybe something off different from your army. This is the technique that I urge you to go for, because in the long run, it'll end up saving you a lot of money if you're not having to purchase all these extraneous paints for these one-off, two-off models. There's a kill team that looks interesting that you might want to paint up. You don't have to go out and buy a bunch of paints just to paint up that kill team. You can just use these paints that you already have, mix up a super cool formula with them, and go to town. Overall, I think this is a really fantastic paint set. It has really vibrant, nice colors. My one criticism is I believe the cyan is a little bit less saturated than I would like it to be, just to get those punchy, bright cyan colors up there. That's really minor kind of in the grand scheme of things. But ultimately, this paint set will be doing you a lot of favors both financially and in learning how colors work, which will fundamentally make you a better miniature painter at the end of the day. So yeah, if you need some paints, go freaking buy it and make any paint that you need. But I do hope this video was helpful. If you did find it interesting or useful, please give it a like and let me know in the comments below. And if you want more painting tips, modeling tips, lore stuff, then make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss a single video. And come check out the Toast Hammer Discord while you're at it. Share your paint recipes. Hey, that's a great idea. And until next time, peace.